two, one. Boom. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Toolbox Tuesday. We do this every other Tuesday. And what we do is we drop knowledge on you regarding our product suite so that you can be even more effective when you're out there selling on the road. Today, we're going to kind of pivot a little bit. We've talked things about, payment terminals, and we've talked about POS systems. But now, what we're going to do is we're going to switch it up a little bit. And we're going to talk about adding gift card loyalty into your suite of products. So today, my special guest is David Hicks from Factor4. David, come off mute, my man. Where are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, there we go. So, David, thank you so much for joining us today. And everybody, I don't mean to brag a little bit, but today's actually a really cool session with David for one simple reason. He's from Boston. It's about time I have somebody from New England join these calls. And gosh, that just makes me feel good. David, thank you for joining us here today, my man. I had the pleasure of meeting you for the first time last week when we met at the NEAA show over in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I had a great time putting together today's session with you, and looking forward to you and I dropping some knowledge on our sales agents. David, I think you're going to actually be sharing your screen, correct?
Yes, yep. I've
All
got
right.
a deck we can go over while I talk through it.
Well, I'll tell you what, my man, let me get you set up as a co-host, if I can actually find you in my list. Go. I'm going to make you a co-host, and you should be able to share your screen. Go ahead, my friend. So while David is getting himself set up and getting his deck pulled up, everybody, one of the things that I really want to emphasize to you, for the amount of hard work that you put into sourcing your leads and working with prospects and getting them signed up and everything else, uh, I'm a huge believer in the multi-product sale. And the reason why I say that is because it helps to make things a little bit stickier. Um, I want to see each and every single one of you have, retention for years to come. I mean, let's face it, you came to Pay Compass for a reason because you knew that you could build up your residuals and those are going to be your lifetime residuals. Why not make it a little bit sticky? Why not get them upsold on a second product? And next month, when we talk about payroll, maybe you can get them set up on a third product. But if nothing else, friends, it's just going to make it harder for those merchants to leave you. That's why we're having this conversation today. David, I can see your screen, my man. So thank you for getting that pulled up. Let's get it kicked off. So, David, I'm sure there's a lot of people on this call that have heard of Factor4. They have probably worked with Factor4 before. But if you don't mind, just very quickly, why don't you get everybody up to speed? What is Factor4 and what is it that you guys do best?
Yeah, so Factor4, it's a full gift and loyalty marketing platform. So I would say we lean more towards gift card. That's kind of our bread and butter, a full gift card solution for retail, restaurants, hospitality, all that kind of stuff. But obviously, loyalty is a big part of what we do too. So those two things together is our sole focus for our merchants. So providing those and providing really good customer service to go along with it is what we do really well.
Yeah. David, obviously one of the reasons why I always get excited about working with Factor4 is the fact that this is all you do.
Yeah.
Okay, there are competitors out there, competitors to Factor4, where they kind of dabble a little bit of that credit card processing services. So sometimes it's a little bit hard to want to bring in like a third party partner to do gift cards and loyalty because there's kind of like that thought in the back of the mind, like what if this guy tries to poach my account? But that's all you guys do. You guys do gift, you do the loyalty, and you guys provide the best customer service. Correct?
Yes, yeah. And there's something to be said about having a lot of products, being the one throat to choke type of thing. A lot of people say I totally get the allure of that, having kind of a one-stop shop of if you have a merchant, they don't have to go to a couple different vendors to get things fixed. But there's obviously a lot of benefit to just being solely focused on one or maybe two products like we are, in that we are full on specialists in those couple things, and we think that allows us to provide the best service possible and best product possible to our clients. And that's, I don't think we have any plans of changing that. I'm sure we'll add some features and products specific to those things of gift card and loyalty, but we have no plans of adding a point of sale or taking over, processing within stores and stuff like that. So as far as I know, that's going to be our only focus going forward as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the key things that I wanted to make sure that we get out here to our audience is the fact that what you do best because that's what it is that you stay focused on.
Yep.
Gift card, loyalty, and matter of fact, we're going to dive in and show. that it's not just the stereotypical, oh my gosh, hey, look at that, I got a plastic gift card. I mean, you guys have got a myriad of different products. We're going to dive into that. So, David, tell you what, my man, why don't you take it away? Go ahead. You can start going through the individual pieces of the deck. And then, as always, I will make sure that we have a conversation here. To you, the sales agent, one of the things I want to remind you is that this is for you. So if you have any questions, just know we are going to pause throughout the session today. We're going to throw it out to you so that you can come off mute and ask your questions. And I'm also keeping an eye on the chat. So if you would prefer to type your question in the chat, absolutely go ahead and go for it. We're going to make sure that we get your questions addressed. David, go ahead and take it away, my friend.
All right, sounds good. Cool. Yeah, a little bit about me too. Like Scott said, I'm out of Boston. Factor4 is just outside of Philadelphia, but I work remote and been with Factor4 for 3 months now. Started this year in January is when I joined the team. Previous to that, I was with a robotics company for a little while. And then prior to that, I was with a company for 4 years that did a similar product offering. So customer engagement, loyalty, gift cards, things like that. Patronics, I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but they work with restaurants. So on the product side of things, I'm very familiar with loyalty and gift cards. So that made the transition coming into Factor4 a little bit easier, I think, than a lot of people switching jobs and companies and things. So allowed me to get up and running quickly and just kind of hop in and start working with partners. What else about me? I got two dogs. They're Chihuahuas. One of them will make you rethink everything you know about Chihuahuas. They're very nice. He likes to fetch and go on hikes. The other one will reinforce every stereotype you know about Chihuahuas, and he might bite you. So just a heads up there. But yeah, so let's hop in. So like I mentioned before, Factor4 gift and loyalty marketing platform. Most of our clients are retail and hospitality, and then we have some other outliers like spas, golf courses, automotive, and things like that. But I mean, any type of merchant that could use gift cards or marketing, we don't focus solely on one specific segment or vertical. We can work with anybody that's looking for that solution.
And David, yeah, there we go. All right.
Yep.
So why don't you drop some facts about Factor4 as far now remind me, how long has Factor4 actually been around?
So 2015 is when Factor4 was founded. Yeah, so about 10 years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Go
And
ahead.
yeah, and to go along with that, over 21,000 installed merchants today. We do a ton of printing of cards. So we are a full service gift card provider and loyalty provider. So not only are we doing the processing on the back end whenever a gift card is sold or redeemed, we're also printing the physical cards. So we got a bunch of printers in our office that are nonstop just printing cards, custom cards that we work with the artwork with our customers on. So we do a ton of that, and we don't have to be the processor to print the cards or vice versa. So we have some customers that actually process with someone else and we print the cards. And then we also print the cards, do the processing and don't print the cards. So most of our customers, obviously, we're doing the full thing, but we can obviously, do some a la carte services for them. Ton of transactions, obviously, 40 million transactions each year. 200 plus integrations with point of sale terminals and gateways. That's a really important part of what we do because we want to make sure that we can provide services to everyone. And there's obviously tons of point of sale systems out there, tons of terminals and gateways. So the more that we have, the better chance we have of being able to provide our service to our merchants out there. And then obviously a ton of ISO partnerships. A lot of our sales and customers come through our ISO partnerships. So ISOs, agents, different companies like that resell our service and bring customers in to provide that product to their customers. Some of our strategic partners worked with Scott on this to make sure we were providing, all the folks that we work with on integrations strategically and made sure they aligned with the same folks that you're all working with. So these are a few examples of those companies out there that we have integrations with and work with on a more strategic or technical level. And there's a ton more out there. So as PayCompass continues to expand out, I'm sure we can continue adding to this list of existing integration partners and strategic partners that we have as well. And we'll make sure that everyone receives this deck so you have it. There's a link there to our integrations that links out to our website, and that's constantly being updated. So beyond the ones we have on this page here, on this slide, you'll be able to see that full list of integration partners. So point of sale, terminal, gateways, a couple online ordering, e-commerce partners that we work with as well.
Yeah, and David, why don't you just leave it on this slide for just 1 second? Because what I want to do is I want to talk to our audience very quickly. Everybody, when David and I were putting this together, this particular slide that you're seeing right here, man, oh man. I mean, it had a whole bunch of different companies that they do integrations with. So when we were putting this together, I said to David, you know what? Why don't we just put something up on the screen that everybody at Pay Compass will have familiarity with? So if you guys take a look at the screen right now, you're going to see a lot of familiar names. And these are solutions that we're either selling right now. So as an example, Pax, Deja Vu, Clover, these are our in-house products that we're currently selling. However, based upon a lot of inquiries that I get from you guys sometimes, questions like, "Hey Scott, gosh, can PayCompass integrate with Squirrel Systems? Hey Scott, could PayCompass integrate with Dinerware or Revel?" And the answer is always yeah. These are POS systems that we do work with. So what I wanted to do, the stuff that you're familiar with, boom, right there up on the screen. That link at the very bottom that says the complete list of integrations. When this webinar is over, and when the marketing department sends out the video from today's session, I'm going to make sure that I provide them with this link. So this way, each and every single one of you would have the ability to click on that link and just kind of take a look through the entire list of everything that Factor4 integrates with. David, thank you for letting me get that piece out there. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. All right. So gift and stored value processing. Again, this is our bread and butter. This is where 90% of our time is spent as a company is focusing on this part of our business. So just a couple key points of kind of what differentiates Factor4, right? So integrations, we have a ton of those out there and we're always adding more. A lot of my time spent at NEAA this past last week was talking to folks that we don't work with today. So obviously that makes it hard because we do already work with a ton of people as I was walking around and still being kind of new to Factor4, checking that integrations list and checking our HubSpot to see who at NEAA we already work with because we work with so many. I still haven't gotten the chance to talk to everyone. There's still a bunch out there that we don't work with. So we're going to continue adding to those systems that we integrate with to make sure that we can help out as many merchants as possible. Our support is compared to companies I've worked with in the past, our support is next level. We have like a 5 minute SLA regarding responsiveness to emails, to online chats, to phone calls, and things like that. Our Slack internally is just constantly being updated with what people are doing, what tickets they're responding to, and things like that. It's really impressive with how quick our support team gets back to folks and helps them out in how quickly they can solve issues. So that to me is like the number one thing I saw that was different that Factor4 does compared to companies that I've worked with in the past. And it's nice, very refreshing compared to what I've seen in the past too. Flexibility. So we work with, again, a ton of systems and situations that allows us to find really unique solutions to a lot of our clients too. So we work with a ton of multi-unit companies out there, whether it's restaurants or retail, that require different or set up with different systems, right? So again, the fact that we integrate with and work with so many different systems out there makes life for us and our merchants easier because even if they are set up as a franchised group with maybe different point of sale systems or terminals within the physical locations, we can make sure that we can plug into all of them and create a consistent operation for them essentially. So that makes life for us and them easier. Big one too is the migration of existing cards and balances. So obviously a lot of most retail and restaurants out there probably have some sort of a gift card solution, whether it be good or bad. So the ability for us to make that migration from an existing gift card solution or loyalty solution over to our system is really, really important. It's something we can do really quickly. Basically, all we need for that is what's called a liability report. A lot of you might already be familiar with that, which is basically just a list of card numbers and values that we upload into our system. We can do that really, really quickly, and it's really just based on when our merchants want to get it set up, right? So, I mean, it takes us a day or two to get it up into the system and to turn it on. At that point, it's just when the merchant wants to do the switch. In addition to those existing cards with value, we can also bring over unused cards. So obviously, They might have, 50, 100, however many cards sitting behind the counter that haven't been loaded yet. We have a cool part of our system that basically, whenever that card is then loaded, so once we have everything existing cards loaded into our system, whenever those new cards or unused cards are swiped into the system, that basically hits our back end and says, "Hey, this card isn't used yet. Let's activate it and load it," so they can continue using those unsold cards. Because there's a lot of systems out there where that's just wasted money at that point. You just have to take those cards that they paid a good amount of money for and throw them out and buy new cards. So we can integrate those existing unused cards into our system too.
All right, David, we're going to pause right here on this particular slide because the thing that sticks out to me is right at the very bottom, seamless migration of existing cards and balances. Okay, existing cards and balances, meaning the merchant is already using somebody else for their gift and loyalty. Okay, so my question to you is historically, what are some of the challenges that merchants face when they're using other gift card companies? Could you share that with our audience, please?
Yeah, I'd say biggest challenge sometimes that I've seen is getting that liability report. Not every company wants to give it
Yeah.
up, or they might make it a little bit more difficult, or even sometimes you have to pay for that liability report. Which, I'm not gonna talk down to competition. Obviously, that's kind of a dirty thing to do, and a bad way to, I think, retain your customers if that's the game you're playing. But it's the reality, and that's just what we have to deal with sometimes. So that's probably the biggest thing whenever somebody's switching over is sometimes it makes it difficult to get that liability report to pull it over. That's probably the number one thing that sticks out in my mind, Scott.
Yeah, and wouldn't you also say that one of the other issues that a lot of merchants face, the lack of responsiveness with customer
Mhm.
service? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that one, David.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So it's not just even getting the liability reports, it's if you can get a hold of somebody to give you the liability report, to start the process. So again, that's a big differentiator for us is how responsible we are. I keep hearing from since I joined Factor 4, not only from customers but also our existing partners, the difference in that level of responsiveness from our support team, of getting answers, getting liability reports and things like that. So again, very refreshing, how we go about that compared to some of the others out there.
Yeah, I would say probably the most valuable piece that you had shared with me when we were putting this together. And everybody on this call, this is something that I want you to kind of gravitate towards when you're talking to merchants, when you're positioning gift cards, is this. The conversation. Have you thought about gift cards? Are you currently doing gift cards? How is it working for you, et cetera, et cetera? One of the things that I want all of you to use as a differentiator with our partnership with Factor 4 is, and David, I'm using your words, Factor 4 can help to become a marketing arm for these businesses, meaning with the solutions that they can provide to a business. Business owners, they get busy. They sometimes don't focus so much on how can I bring more people through my doors?
Mhm.
What can I do to generate more interest as far as getting my sales up? And David, just kind of fill in the gaps as far as, how Factor 4 can be the marketing arm for any of the merchants that you work with.
Yeah. So number one is just the initial gift card setup. So getting the system set up and then getting cards done. So we have a full portal that allows our customers to upload artwork to design the cards, and then we offer free design services as well. So if somebody it's their first time designing a card and they need help doing it, that's something we provide free of charge, whenever somebody's doing their cards through us. So we'll work with them on designing the actual card, uploading the logo, making sure it looks good, and fits kind of their brand specs and all that kind of stuff. We also help build out websites or web pages to sell the gift cards online. That's a huge piece of maximizing your gift card revenue, is making it easy to buy cards not only in store or on premise but also online. So that's another service that we started offering that I'll get into a little bit more later as well.
Yeah.
Another big part of it is providing the marketing materials. So not only the gift cards themselves, but the little envelopes that they get sold in store marketing, stuff to display and advertise the fact that you sell gift cards, right? So somebody might not even know that you sell gift cards and still use until you start actually advertising that within your store. And then the use of promotional gift card programs and things like that. So, buy a $50 gift card, get a $10 card for free. We build those programs in our back end to get our customers up and running with that too. And again, just another great way to drive revenue. So really anything gift card related, we can act as kind of that marketing arm on the gift card side of things for them and with them.
Yeah, and to everybody on our call, just know that we are going to show you some examples coming up here in just a little bit. However, I do see that my friend Carol Steen out in Texas has that virtual hand up. Good gosh, it's got to be getting tired. Carol, come up here. What do you got for a question, my friend?
Hey there. Thanks for calling on me. I have
Yeah.
a question, and it's exactly what David's talking about. I've got a candy factory, and they bought 500 gift cards. I sent in the gift card, and we know that it's convertible, able to be converted. And we are having so much trouble getting the liability report. It used to be with Heartland Payments, and then that's what the cards say, and then that became Beyond, and now we're bringing it over here. But the customer has no idea who to call, and we have gone through support with Factor4 for several times, and we just don't know how to get that liability report. So we're going backwards, and trying to tell you guys what cards are not converted, which, I just have to get all those numbers. Is there an easy way that you guys can help us with the liability report? I mean, we seem to not be providing them the correct information for them to give that to us.
Okay. Who did you say the existing programs through right now?
I believe it's Factor4.
So their existing gift card program is Factor4 and they're looking to switch from it or
Well, they have Factor4 cards, I think, but they're on the card itself. It says payment Heartland Payments.
Okay. So, Carol, I think I understood what happened. So basically, back in the day, the business was set up, with, hey, it's Heartland's gift card program, but on the back end, it was actually Factor Four.
Correct.
Still is Factor Four on the back end. It's just a matter of migrating it off of the Heartland slash global slash get beyond. I don't think I can add another slash here.
Yeah, right.
But basically, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to get it migrated off of that entire global ecosystem so that
Yes.
it's Factor Four running on the pay compass rails, correct?
Yes. But
All
when
right.
I call Factor4, they say you're not the right, you don't have the credentials to ask for that. The
Mhm.
customer doesn't know certain answers because she wasn't there back, several years ago. So we're just trying to figure out who to call within Factor4 to help us get that liability report.
Okay, I can help get you pointed in the right direction. So if you want to shoot me, Scott, if you can share my email too after this.
I'm
Uh,
writing it down right now.
Beautiful.
so
That is why I'm on this call today. Thank you, David.
Yeah, no worries. And yeah, this is yeah exactly what it's talking about. That can be a little confusing. So I'm sure I can get you connected with somebody to get an answer. I've had our folks recommend who to reach out to these other companies to get the liability report too. So there's usually somebody within our team that knows specifically who we can reach out to release that liability, so to speak.
Thank you.
So yeah, no problem.
And one of the things that I want to share with everybody to that point that Carol made, and it kind of ties into something that David said previously, the level of difficulty that some of these, gift card providers, the level of difficulty that they provide, because they don't want to lose that little piece of the business. So to that point, with Carol's scenario, when Carol was working at either Heartland or Global or Get Beyond, she had worked with Factor 4 to present it as an option, but it sounds like something may have gotten lost in translation over here. But with that said, having worked with David, having worked with Dan Batista, who is the president of Factor 4, this is something that they will take seriously, and this is something that we can get rectified. So, Carol, after this call is over, I'm going to get you and David connected so that you can get that rectified. Sound good? All right, I see a thumb going up. David, let's since we're talking about it right now, as far as the liability report, provided provided that things do go smoothly, and let's say that our agents are able to get a copy of that liability report, they hand it off to Factor 4. What does that turnaround time generally look like once you have that liability report in hand?
A day or two for us to get it uploaded into the system. So I mean, we can get we can get a customer onboarded and get a program set up within 10 minutes and then get the liability report added within a day or two. And if they give us the go ahead, we can get them launched. Obviously, if they need physical cards, that'll take a little bit longer, anywhere from 7 to 10 days to get them cards printed and shipped out once the artwork and everything like that is approved. But to kind of switch over from one card program to Factor4, we can do that pretty quickly within a day or two. Again, it's usually down to when the merchant wants to give us the go ahead and thumbs up to turn it on from there.
Yeah. And pretty much what it comes down to, and David, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but pretty much what it comes down to is when our agents get their merchants connected with Factor4, what it comes down to is just the merchant gravitating towards Factor4. Because I know
Mhm.
that you guys do the follow-up, the emails, you make the connection, but basically what it comes down to is you got the liability report, you can turn it around fairly quickly.
Yep.
It's just a matter of the merchant gravitating back and saying, yes, the artwork looks correct. Yes, you got the font correct and everything else. Once that's done, you guys just go to town.
Yes, yeah, and that's probably a problem all everybody on this call has experienced of you're ready to go, but the customer is taking their time responding and replying and giving the go ahead. So we make the process really easy. Like I said, we have a full portal for that artwork to be designed and everything like that. So once it's good to go, once we do our thing, the customer gets an email to link to the portal to either approve or disapprove or make changes to the artwork and stuff like that. Once they hit that approval button, we start printing. It's like 7 to 10 days to get them printed and shipped off. If they need them faster, we can do it faster. We can do rush orders if they need it. But yeah, once we get everything uploaded, we can kind of rock and roll and just go at whatever pace the merchant needs to go to.
Yeah, and the reason I wanted to put emphasis on that is because to you, the sales agent, Factor4 will do their due diligence as far as connecting with your merchants so that they can get the process started. But just for more for your own awareness that there may, you as a sales agent, it may require just a little bit of prodding on your part to get your merchant to gravitate and say, hey, looks like they sent an email to you. Looks like they're ready to go. All you've got to do is approve it. So just the only thing we ask is just be a part of the process. Once you do get folks signed up with Factor4 for your gift card and loyalty, and just take heart knowing that, gosh, you might have to give them a little bit of a push, but it's going to be worth it, especially given the fact that this is a good partnership. David, why don't we jump over to the next slide and why don't we talk about some of the creative ways that Factor4 helps merchants, especially with promotions?
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. So, yeah, just a few examples of the different types of stored value use cases we have here. So everybody's familiar, probably at least with the first two, traditional gift cards, your physical card that you can either buy in store or get shipped to you online. Digital gift cards, same concept, but no physical plastic card, right? You just get an email with a card number, maybe a QR code or a barcode to scan it in store. Then we have merchandise credit and promotional cards. Merchandise credit, that's for things. The use case for that would be, let's say you want to return something to a store, but maybe you're outside of the 30 days, or that's just the store's return policy of instead of getting cash back or back to your preferred payment method, you get a merchandise card to use within the store. So same type of use case, but just kind of comes down to how that merchant wants to handle that type of scenario. Then we have promotional cards. So I mentioned this earlier. Scott just mentioned it as well. This is a really, really cool tool that a lot of our clients use and something that we set up for a lot of our clients to do something like a bonus card. So you can see down at the bottom right there, get a free $10 bonus card when you buy $50 in gift cards. So this can be set up in a way to basically, it's something that I used to refer to as a comp card, which is basically a card that it's not the exact same thing as a gift card because it doesn't sit on your books like a gift card. It's more like a coupon, right? So if you do buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 bonus card, that $10 can be like expired. For example, you don't have to make it expire sooner, but it's a tool that you can use to sell alongside those gift cards and make more specific, unique rules around it. Another example of a promotional card that I've seen in the past is like a Chick-fil-A opened near me a few years ago, and they had these promotional cards of come back within 30 days and get a free breakfast sandwich. That's another use of a promotional card that you could sell alongside gift cards. The reason these are really cool tools to use on the marketing side of things is every time one of our customers does one of these, so they reach out to us and say they want to do a, let's say, Easter or back to school promotional card of buy $50, get a $10, buy $100, get $15, something like that. We always see an immediate boost in revenue from these. So every time, as long as they're doing a little bit of the work to promote it, to advertise it, whether it's social media or in store or something else, they see an immediate boost in revenue. So very little that they have to invest to get an immediate boost in gift card sales. And obviously, whenever you're selling gift cards, it's an immediate cash influx that can then be used in whatever way that merchant wants to. So a really, really good way to get that influx of cash and revenue by selling and promoting these promotional cards.
David, when I'm looking at the screen over here at the very bottom, I can see the example where it says, get a free $10 bonus card, and it kind of has a little bit of that holiday theme to it.
Mhm.
Okay. And a couple of other things that you said here, Easter, back to school, Christmas, things along those lines. With these promotions, I mean, for the most part, I think it's kind of a little bit of a stereotype where everybody looks at gift card season as being tied to one of a few things. It's either Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, or it's tied into Christmas. But for the most part, I mean, our agents can exercise a little bit of creativity with setting up some of these promotions. So, like one of the things that's coming into my mind is brand new restaurant that's going to be opening soon.
Mhm.
As part of their marketing campaign, yes, we are going to be selling gift cards, and it can be a promotional too to get more people into the door. Yeah, our grand opening is coming up, next week on Wednesday. When you come in, you can buy gift cards. When you buy gift cards, when you come in, we'll give you an additional $10, $25. So there's creative ways to market it out there without pigeonholing it into a holiday. I mean, David, what would you say has been the experience in in those respects?
Yeah, that's when I think these are the most useful is outside of those holiday periods because the last couple months of the year you don't have to promote gift cards. Your gift card sales are going to rise just because it's that gift giving season. So
Right.
so to use, I mean, you can absolutely do it to get an additional boost, but it's you don't want to cannibalize those sales, right? So people are going to buy gift cards just because that's the time of the year to buy gift cards. That's when our office is busy from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night responding to support, printing cards and all that kind of stuff until January 1st, essentially. So those sales are going to come. What you got to think about is those kind of lulls throughout the year when maybe you wouldn't be selling those gift cards quite as much. And I have a slide we'll get to later that kind of shows the split of, the last couple of years or last couple of months of the year versus the rest of the year and the split in gift card sales between, holidays and non-holidays, which might be surprising to some people, but it's really important to use these types of tools to make sure that you're more consistent throughout the year. So targeting those little holidays, whether it's St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, things like that, back to school, summer stuff, spring break, whatever it is, to make sure that whenever you see those dips in gift card sales, those don't happen. You try to kind of keep it even throughout the year, and these promotional gift cards are a really really great tool to do that.
So one of the things that I want to make sure that we're emphasizing to you, the audience, is that gift cards are year round, but more importantly, and we'll get into this in just a little bit, loyalty is a year round thing, which is also one of the benefits of working with Factor 4. I mean, let's face it, nobody says, well, gosh, loyalty is only a Christmas time thing, Scott. No, absolutely. I mean, loyalty is a year-round thing. You're accruing points, or for every single visit, you have an opportunity to earn something. That's always going to be year-round, and that's something that we are going to dive into in just a little bit. David, why don't we pause for a second? Because I see that we got a question that popped up into the chat, and I'm going to break it down into two sections because it kind of looks like a two-part question. David, let me know when you're ready.
Yep, good.
All right, so let's tackle the first question. So, David, if it's a gift card liability from another company, what is the restripe fee to be able to swipe the cards in a new system? Would
Uh,
you,
so what does Factor 4 charge for that?
I believe that is the question, correct?
Okay. To my knowledge, I don't know if there is. Let me double check with our team to see if there is a
Yeah.
fee for that. It
Matter,
could even depend on some other factors that I'm not aware of, but
yeah,
let
matter of
me take
fact,
that back. And, yeah.
what I'll do on that one too, David, now that it's popping into my head, having read the question, you, the audience, if you go into Navigo and if you download the software pricing sheet, you're going to see that when you get to that Factor 4 section, there's a myriad of different offerings that they do. And I want to believe, and please don't quote me on this because I haven't pulled it up just yet, but I want to believe that there is going to be a breakdown in regards to what those fees are. I would say that might be the best place to start if that's something that you do have a question about. I would say you might want to definitely check out that software pricing sheet. Let's jump into the second question on this one, David. If we have to manually enter gift card numbers, manually entering into the system, is there a setting in Factor 4 that can activate to be able to input just the last six numbers of the gift card?
No, I believe you need the full number.
You do need the full number.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. All right. Well, that was the two-part question. We got that taken away. David, let's be mindful of the time here. I see that we talked quite a bit. Why don't we jump over to the next slide? Let's talk about the card promotion, the card productions and what it looks like from that perspective.
Yeah, so again, this is kind of one of our differentiators out there. The fact that there's not a lot of kind of independent full service gift card providers out there anymore, right? So like every point of sale company out there has some sort of a gift card offering, although it's usually just the processing. Then they'll work with a separate independent vendor for the manufacturing or the printing of the cards. There's a couple independent printers that do processing and vice versa. So we're one of a very small handful of companies out there that's just fully focused on gift cards, doing the processing and the production of the materials. So you can see here we do everything you need for gift cards. So not only the printing of the actual cards, so we do kind of in stock. We have like 50 or so choices of just kind of basic gift cards that you can order if you don't want to do fully custom. Obviously, we can do fully custom. That's what we do for a lot of the majority of our customers is doing some sort of a fully custom card, and we can get them to them pretty quickly within 10 to 15 business days. Again, we do rush orders too if they need it faster. Um, Presenters and holders, obviously, you can have just the physical card. A lot of our clients like to have that little extra presentation of the envelope that it comes into. So again, we have a bunch of in stock designs, or we can do a fully custom design for those as well. And then we do all the marketing kits and accessories within the store. So you want to make sure that you have ample displays and advertising of the gift cards to make sure that your customers within the store know that that is a product that you offer. So everything you need to sell the gift cards and process and use the gift cards is something that Factor 4 can do.
All right. Let's talk about those rush orders very, very quickly here. In those instances where a merchant says, yes, I want to put a rush on this, that comes at an extra cost, correct, David?
Correct. Yep. Mhm.
Okay. Uh, so friends, as you can see, we're presenting options here where, if they want to get up and running quickly and they don't want to go through the process of approving the logo or approving the artwork. They do have the generic cards in stock, which can be printed off immediately, makes it a little bit more quicker. Further down the road, it's something that they can always revisit to get their logo on there, get the right colors on there. But to get them started quickly, yeah, absolutely. We can just go with the very generic, and that will help to get the merchant up and running. Keep in mind, if they want a rush order, that does cost a little bit extra. But David, good gosh, let's jump to the next slide because I think there's a little bit of a creative way to kind of avoid that fee on the rush orders, and that's e-gift cards, which has a little bit more of a faster turnaround, correct?
Yeah, yeah, that's totally fair. Obviously, you don't gotta wait in for the mail to come to get a digital card. It's a little bit quicker if you're selling those online. Nobody has to wait, and they're pretty much as instantaneous as they could be. Um, so let's see
There
here.
we
Yeah.
go.
So again, another product that we offer to go along with gift card sales is the online gift card solution. So a lot of our clients, well, we have a few larger, chains out there. A lot of our clients are smaller merchants, whether it's retail, hospitality, whatever, one location to 10 locations, whatever it may be. Not these smaller merchants don't always have the resources to build out a full website solution to be able to sell all their stuff online, right? So while some of these merchants might have a simple website, let's say it's a restaurant, Dave's Taco Shack, and they list their menu and they have a link to like DoorDash, they can't necessarily sell stuff on there, right? An e-commerce solution. So what we do is we create a web page with a URL that can be linked to that website. That's much easier to set up, right? Just adding a little gift card button to your existing davestacoshack.com. Whenever the customer clicks on, gift cards, that links then opens a new tab and links out to the website that we built out. So it'd be like davestacoshack.webcardsales.com, for example. From there, that gives the customer, the guest, the ability to purchase a gift card, whether it's a traditional physical card that gets shipped to them or quicker e-gift card, like you mentioned, Scott. So that's something that we offer to our clients, and it's just another avenue for them to expand their gift card sales. We charge our merchants very little for this because what we do is we charge the person buying the card a little issuance fee, and if it's a traditional card that they're getting shipped, we handle the fulfillment and we charge a $5 shipping fee essentially. So what we do for a lot of our merchants, again, full service gift card solution, processing the cards, printing the cards, fulfilling the cards out of our office near Philadelphia. So if you were to walk into our office, you would see racks and racks, from floor to ceiling of a bunch of piles of gift cards, and that's all of our merchants that we do fulfillment for. So each one of these little piles has a card in front of it, Dave's Taco Shack, Scott's Ice Cream Palace, whatever it may be. Every time they get an inquiry from this website, or it might be another website because we integrate with other websites too. Every time they get one of those inquiries to buy a card, that comes to us. Somebody from our office walks up, gets the card, packs it, sends it in the mail to the customer who purchases it. So again, another service we offer is that fulfillment side of things. Obviously, if it is an e-gift card, a digital card, that is just getting fulfilled instantaneously. So you're just putting in as the guest, the name and the email of where you want it to go, and that's going to get shipped out via email, and they're just going to get a card number with a barcode or a QR code or whatever it may be.
So a quick recap on that, friends. Talking to a merchant, you want to get them set up with gift cards. Be aware that, as David mentioned, it's going to be a 7 to 10 day turnaround time. With the e-gift cards, David, what would you say is the, figure quotes in the air, the turnaround time on the e-gift cards as far as an approval goes with the merchant?
So from when a guest purchases the e-gift card online to when they get it in their email, basically.
No, basically, when the merchant says, yes, I want to do e-gift cards in addition to physical gift cards,
Got it.
what would Factor 4's turnaround time be to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, you're all set up with e-gift cards?
So we get these sites built in like less than a day. Again, whenever I check our company Slack, I just see people working on these, and they'll say, "Hey, starting on Dave's Taco Shack ecom," and then an hour later they'll say, "Hey, it's built out." I called the customer to let them know it can go live whenever they need it to be. So once we get the site built, obviously there's a little bit of work on their side to link it if they want to do that. Obviously they don't have to; they can just display this somewhere else, and if they want to advertise it on social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, like click this link to buy a gift card, they can do that. If they have an existing website, we always encourage them to just add the link to their website. So that's the only additional work they would need to do if they wanted to list it on their website. But we get these built out in a day. So once we get this built out, it's just linked to their back end, and they can have it live really, really quickly, like day of, if they can work to get that added to their website.
Yeah, and the reason I'm bringing that up, sales agents, is because depending on the level of urgency with the merchant, it's not the worst thing in the world for you to have that conversation with them and say, look, as far as the turnaround time goes, 7 to 10 days, you, Mr. or Mrs. Merchant, if you want to pay a little extra, okay, we can do a rush on this. However, if you're really chomping at the bit and you really want to get up and running, you should give serious consideration to e-gift cards. Reason being, instant gratification for all of your customers. They can print, they're going to immediately get the email, print it off, use the barcode scanner, whatever the case may be. So just keep that tool in your back pocket when you're
Mhm.
talking about gift cards to your merchants. Help them to understand that if this is something with a level of immediacy, okay, great. You know what? The people at Factor 4, I think, in your instance, Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, would it be the worst thing in the world to set you up with e-gift cards? So this way, all of your customers are getting that instant gratification. David, why don't we jump over to the next slide? And while you're jumping over to that one, um, one of the things you had mentioned to me, you guys have an integration with WooCommerce too, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah. So it's not just the sites that we build out. We can integrate into third parties too. Again, if there's more, that's going to be listed on that integration list that we linked here, or on that previous slide. And again, we're always adding more. So if there are customers using a different site or a different vendor for their website, we have APIs to allow the integration to happen natively on the website too. So that's something we can always talk about if that's needed.
Yeah.
Instead of
In this example, David, you're going to talk to us about how the money moves, correct?
Yes, yeah, the fun part of gift cards is how the
The
money.
best part of gift cards. Come on.
No, this is the part of gift cards I never wanted to learn, and yet here I am. So, obviously, pooling is super important to our merchants that have multiple locations. So, whether it is all corporate owned locations or a franchise setup where each location has a different owner, maybe that franchisee has multiple locations under that corporate entity. We want to make sure that whenever a gift card is purchased and redeemed, that the money is flowing correctly to whoever bought the gift card and things like that. So the first example is centralized pooling. Centralized is pretty simple. When a gift card is purchased at a location, that money then is moved to a central holding account. And that's just a centralized bank account that holds onto those funds until it's redeemed. It might never release those funds because, again, if it's a corporate entity where all the locations are owned by just one corporate company, it's just going to flow there and stay there whenever it's redeemed, and that's going to get tracked on our back end. The other one is decentralized. So we got centralized and decentralized. Decentralized works a little bit differently, and this is usually set up for those franchised groups, right? So if it's a McDonald's, for example, McDonald's obviously maybe the most famous franchise group out there. Each location isn't owned by McDonald's, right? It's owned by me. It's owned by Scott. That's running maybe one or multiple locations under the McDonald's brand. So these franchisees, whenever they sell a gift card, they want to hold on to that money because they want to invest that money, right? So maybe they have something that's broken they need to fix. Maybe they want to use it for marketing, or advertising, things like that. So what happens with decentralized is location A sells a gift card for $50. That location A is going to hold on to those funds until that gift card is then redeemed. Obviously, if it's redeemed again at location A, it's never going to change hands, right? They sold the gift card, they redeemed the gift card, they hold on to those funds. But if franchise A or location A sells that gift card and then that customer goes and redeems it at location B that's owned by a separate entity, a separate franchisee, that money is then going to transfer from franchise A or location A to location B automatically. So it never goes into a centralized holding account, a centralized bank account. It's held on to by whoever sells that gift card until that gift card is then redeemed, and then the money transfers from location A to location B. So we do that money movement or that pooling for our customers on a monthly basis. We make sure that all the funds are accounted for and get to where they need to go automatically every single month. So again, a really, really important tool to make sure that we're providing that full service and that full product to our customers for gift cards.
Yeah, we're sharing that with all of you just because if this does come up in a conversation with some of your merchants that may have multi-locations, or maybe if they're a part of a franchise. I mean, this is something where Factor4 has the technology built in on the back end so that they can accommodate whatever those situations are with multi-locations. Oh, okay. Look at that. Our director of marketing. She loves you guys so much. Emily McMahon posted in the chat, FYI team. There is Factor4 marketing flyer in Navigo under the documents tab. Emily McMahon, thank you so much for jumping in on that one. David, let's switch gears, my man, because this is the part that I get excited about. You guys do loyalty. And
Yeah.
as I mentioned previously, it's not just about the gift card and the seasonality. Loyalty is year round. And I mean, let's face it, who doesn't love earning points so that they can get some free stuff later on down the road? David, talk to us about this, please.
Yeah, so yeah, Lotus is a big part of what we do. We have a lot of merchants utilizing this today. So we have a few different options: basic loyalty, cardless loyalty, loyalty plus. First two there, basic and cardless. The programs run the same. It's a straightforward basic loyalty program. You can use points, punches, cashback, stuff like that. The difference obviously between those two is basic loyalty uses a physical card, like a gift card, for example, to identify the guest within the store. Cardless is just based on phone number. So that is a little bit easier to use for most people because I, for one, don't carry any sort of like loyalty cards or gift cards even with me. I just have like my credit card, debit card, and license, basically, maybe a little bit of cash if I'm unlucky and have cash for some reason. I much prefer cardless because if I'm out somewhere, whether it's retail, restaurant, whatever, they can just ask me for my phone number. I give it to them. It's unique. I know it. I remember it every single time, and they can identify me to allow me to accrue or redeem my points, depending on how the system or the loyalty program set up. So those are the first two. that's for somebody that just wants a basic loyalty system, loyalty program to entice their guests to come back in more often and spend more every time they come. Loyalty Plus kind of takes it to the next level. So that's going to be a more advanced loyalty program that allows you to set up more unique programs and also message and market to the loyalty members within that program. So you can do a little bit more advanced, unique programs with this. So think like a Panera Bread, for example, does what they call surprise and delight, where you as a guest within the restaurant, you don't really know or keep track of your points. You can't see that. It's all happening behind the scenes by Panera. So you can come in like 4 times, and maybe on your fifth time, the person behind the counter says, "Oh, David, you have a free pastry today. Would you like to redeem that?" So that's a little bit more unique of a program. It's not just like points or punches like a lot of basic programs. That's something else we can do with Loyalty Plus. And then obviously the big differentiator there too is the ability to market directly out of that program to the members within the program. So the first two, basic and cardless, there's no messaging part of it. It's just, making sure the customers are aware of the program, making sure they can come back in, and you're making sure they identify themselves so they can accrue and redeem their points. Loyalty Plus, it's kind of a full marketing solution in your CRM. So not only is it the bare the bones of the program to make sure that they can use it in store, but also makes it possible to do marketing of the program to those members, and also includes campaign reporting. So you're able to track the campaigns and the programs that you're using to kind of make sense of the ROI of the program too.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like about this, David, is you're not presenting a one size fits all. This is the only loyalty program that we have. So we could do physical gift cards, we could do cardless loyalty, we could do loyalty plus. And it's all going to depend on what it is that the merchant needs as far as, do they actually want to track, how much foot traffic they're getting, how often people are doing return visits. I mean, obviously that's going to fall more into the plus category. But David, when you and I were putting this together, one of the big things that stuck out to me, because I shared an example with you, I told you that my local record store gave me a membership card a long time ago. And of course, I'm like everybody else. I never carry my card with me.
Mhm.
Walked into the store and they said, "Are you a loyal customer?" I said, "Yeah, of course I am." "Well, could you give us your card?" "I don't have my card." To which they countered with, "Well, can you tell us your card number?" Okay.
Yeah.
If I don't have the card, what makes you think I memorized the card number? So one of the things that you shared with me, David, is you said, obviously our agents can use discernment in regards to whatever loyalty program they present to their merchants, but you do highly recommend going with the cardless option. It does cost a little bit more, full transparency, but from a customer retention and a customer satisfaction experience, cardless is the way to go, correct?
Yes, yeah. So from my, again, previously spent 4 years with another loyalty guest engagement platform at Patronix, and kind of the thing that was drilled in and that I had a really good understanding of is you want to make it as frictionless as possible, right? You don't want any hurdles to your customers either joining the program or using the program. So the less hurdles you can create within the program, so making it really easy to not only sign up for the program, but to identify oneself within the program as you're purchasing something, the more success you're going to get out of that program. So if you're going to be using cards, that's fine. I've been to places where some merchants have a really loyal customer base. Like I have a coffee shop that I go to a couple times a week after the gym in the morning, and they use old school punch, like a punch card, like we used to always use before these things existed. And a good amount of people in front of me and behind me will have this card on hand to get it punched. Obviously, a store like that, a brand like that, could maybe use a physical card to identify their customers for their loyalty program, but again, having cardless is going to make it so much easier for your customers to identify themselves. If they're using the program more, they're going to see the benefits more. They're going to come in more and spend more to reap the benefits of that program too. So that's what I always lead with is, you can do this, but I recommend the cardless because it's going to make life for you and your customers that much easier. And you're going to see more success out of the program that way.
Yeah, but why don't we jump over to the next slide? Because this is the nice visual that gives that breakdown of what Factor 4 can bring to the table as far as loyalty goes. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, 100%. So again, some of the more basic ones we run through and set up for our customers are points, punches, and cashback. Points is pretty straightforward. We've probably all had a program like that or been in a program like that where it's just, points dollars for points. Once you hit a certain amount of points, you can redeem those for value. Same thing with punches. Again, the coffee shop I go to, they do it the old school way, physically punching something out. This is like a digital punch card based on visits. So you come in 10 times and make a purchase, whether it's a coffee or a sandwich and a coffee and whatever else. Once you come in for the 11th or the 10th time, the next visit you come in, you'll get a free coffee. Again, that's like visit-based virtual punch card. Cashback, similarly, once you spend a certain amount, a certain percentage of that dollar spend will get kind of banked, and then you can redeem that for cashback in the store. And then again, with that Loyalty Plus, we can get a little bit more custom with it, where you can base it on visits or certain things on the menu, or get more points and less points, things like that. So as simple as points to dollars to a more custom program is the different types of programs that we can run in these loyalty programs.
And David, just to make sure that we do define it, punches. I mean, obviously, theater of the mind for all of us on the call. We're picturing the old school, here's a physical card where they have the puncher and they're clicking it through. But to define it, as far as what Factor 4 does, it's based upon the phone number. And basically, by definition, a punch equals a visit.
Yes.
So, for full clarity, I'm the consumer. I walk into David's coffee shop. They've already got me set up as a loyalty member. I punch in my phone number during this visit, and now
Mhm.
what they're doing is they're tracking every single visit that I've made. Technically, that's where the punch comes in. The punch itself is per visit, per customer to each location, and that's where the merchant on the back end can track, aha, look at
Mhm.
that. They visited us 8 times. If they visit two more times, then we're going to offer them X or
Yep.
whatever the reward is. So the
Correct.
punches by definition per visit is what it comes down to. And it's based upon the phone number that the consumer provides.
Exactly. Yep. You got it.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're clear because
Mhm.
sometimes I worry that, some people might go, really? So they mail us the punchers? Wow, that's fat.
Right.
No, but we don't. We don't. Okay, so just to be
We
clear
do
on
not.
that,
All virtual. Yes.
all virtual. All right, my man.
Cool.
We're right in the home stretch. Why don't you bring it on home, David, to you, the sales agent, to you, the audience. We
Mhm.
still want your questions. If you have any questions towards the very end, as we get ready to wrap up, come off mute, ask your questions, or put your questions in the chat. More than happy to get them in front of our panelists. David, bring us home, friend.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll go through the last couple pretty quickly. I won't run through every one of these. I think a lot of us are familiar with a lot of the benefits of a gift card program. Again, we'll make sure you have this deck so you can always refer back to it as little points and whenever you're talking to your customers and merchants about this type of program. But I mean these are all the very simple things that make why having a gift card program is good, right? It's going to bring you back ROI on your investment in a gift card program. Increase revenue, customer experience, brand exposure, loyalty, all these things add up to make a gift card program worth it. As long as you can put in a little bit of work to advertise it and market it, and making sure your customers know that they can purchase gift cards, whether in store or online, whatever else, you're guaranteed to get more value out of it than you're putting into it, basically. Last couple slides here, just some data around gift cards. So this is kind of the difference in physical and e-gift. Again, as we probably saw starting with COVID, obviously e-gift and all things digital have really trended upwards, and it's going to continue moving upwards as well. Whenever you're towards the end of the year, again, that gift giving season is when we see a big influx in digital cards. But same thing for digital cards. They're both getting an increase in we're gonna see that increase in e-gift and digital gift card sales continue to increase in the next few years, I'm sure. So you can see down at the bottom the estimated growth from 341 billion to 1.5 trillion in digital cards sold. So it'll keep trending upwards, I'm sure. So it's really important that customers take advantage of that today, right? Well, that's something we can set up for them, or we can support selling our cards that we make on whatever other website they want to sell. So we can make that all possible for them. Lastly, gift card seasonality. This is something Scott kind of referred to back a few slides ago in regards to, when to buy gift cards, when to focus on gift cards. And the answer is all year. If you put a little bit of effort into it, it's something that you can do all year. So you can see over on the right-hand side, I mentioned this too, is the proportion of gift cards sold of during holidays versus non-holidays, and it's a 50-50 split. Obviously, you get a lot of big jumps up on major holidays. Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, obviously towards the end of the year with Christmas and other holidays. Um, But throughout the rest of the year, that's when you're making up that other 50% difference. So if it's something you're pushing, if you're doing these promotional cards and doing these programs and doing marketing correctly and working with us to allow us to kind of teach you how to do it, you can take advantage of gift cards all throughout the year. And again, pushing those gift cards has all sorts of benefits. But to Scott's point, it's not a holiday thing only. It's not a Christmas or Thanksgiving Day thing only. It is a full year program that you can run to really reap the benefits of and get a lot of ROI.
And by the way, was I the only one that noticed that like Father's Day took a little dip? That always makes me sad. It's like, take care of us, buy us gift cards. We love them. Um, so we are coming up here on the top of the hour. Audience, we're opening it up to you now. Whatever questions you got, you can come off mute, get them in front of David, or if you would like, you can throw them into the chat. Let's get it all wrapped up, cut you loose, so that you can go out there and talk to your merchants about gift card and loyalty. I think I may have a. Oh, I love this one. This came from Carol Steen. Spending more than what the gift card's worth, David. That happens all the time. You give me a $50 gift card, I'm not going to spend 50 bucks. I'm going to spend a heck of a lot more than that. That's a good talking point to actually share with the merchants as far as when our agents have these conversations.
Yes, yeah, that's an amazing point. Again, there's more value. You're going to get more value out of gift cards than you put in, and I mean that in the most literal sense of there's so many statistics you can look up of the amount of spend beyond what a gift card is worth. I just did it a couple weeks ago. I had a Dick's Sporting Goods gift card. I saw a sweatshirt I liked. The gift card was like for 25, and the sweatshirt was for like 60 bucks. I spent way more than what that gift card was worth because that's like free money to me, right? I just kind of happened upon this $25 and go towards a larger purchase. So if you look it up, it's something like 20, pretty regularly, like 20% more than what the gift card is worth is what's spent on a purchase. And another interesting stat, and this kind of depends on the vertical and segment you're talking about, but there's something else called breakage, gift card breakage, which is the amount of a gift card that's not spent. So not only do you have a large percent of people spending more than what that gift card is worth, you also have a large percent of people that are not using the full value of the gift card, which is essentially free money for that merchant, right? So if you get a $50 gift card, you might spend $40 of it, and that gift card's going to go back in your purse or your bag or sit on a shelf, and you might forget about it, sadly enough. But that's something that these merchants have to take into account. So that's basically free money that they're getting by selling on that gift card. They're giving out $50 worth of service potentially, but you're only spending $40 of that value of the gift card. And then depending on the state they're in, it might eventually expire. There's federal laws where a gift card has to last for at least 5 years. Other states, California, I think it's forever. And then there's a little bit of everything in between, depending on the state you're in. So, yeah, there's a lot of really interesting stats around gift cards of how much more is spent on the gift card. Money isn't all spent on the gift card, and again, it's all going back, and you're getting a lot of benefit out of that gift card program because the little things like that they add up.
Audience, last call.
Hey, I'll just say that
Go ahead, Brent.
I've been using Factor4 since day one in this industry. I don't think I've ever had a better customer support from any other group. So
I appreciate it.
kudos to you guys, and just had a great successful multi-location. So thank you guys.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. That's something consistently I've heard since I joined the team is just how quickly our team responds and gets things fixed or set up or solved for our merchants and our partners. So always good to hear, Brad. Thanks.
I've
I
worked
figured I'd
with
throw a
Brett.
little selling tip out there for everyone. I used to sell a ton of gift cards when I was at Heartland. And one of the things I used to do, and I've helped some of my reps with this too, when you get the merchant set up, and I used to do this particularly with like bars, restaurants, I would tell the owner, I'm like, you know what, let's take 20 gift cards, load $5 on each one and give them to me. And then what I would do is I would go out into the town and I'd stop by the local salon and drop off like 4 cards. Say, here's a couple for, Jeff's Tavern down the road. Give these to your good clients. Or if you guys want to hit happy hour after work, do that. And two things happen. You're helping drive business to that merchant because if they've got a $5 gift card, drinks are going to be more than $5. Chances are they're going to do exactly what David was saying. They're going to spend that and then spend a little extra Plus, it's giving you an excuse to walk indoors. We are not just cold calling, you're going in with a purpose. And quite often, the reaction I had was, "You're their credit card processor and you're helping them do this?" And it was amazing how people will start conversations with that. So it's an easy way to walk in the door because you're not just selling something, you're giving them something, you're bringing value. And that worked really, really well. And I was I was one of their top gift card sellers for our region. And that was what I did. I would just go in, have the merchants loaded up, chalk it up to your marketing budget, part of that, and just go out and you guys can figure out the dollar amount. Just have them give you a handful and just go pass them out.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I like
That,
that.
that's huge. The other piece that I like about it too is not only are you working with that local merchant, buying the gift cards from them or getting, acquiring the gift cards from them, uh, but now you're starting to get yourself out in the community. And I mean, who doesn't? Let's face it, cold calling is hard enough as it is. But if you can cold call with something in hand that's going to A, help you to be memorable, B, make them a little bit more receptive. Well, gosh, he was a nice guy. And I mean, he did give me $5 and whew, that was a really good happy hour. I love it, Chad. Thank you for sharing that, my
Thanks.
man. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, audience, one more time. Questions that you got, you can throw them in the chat, come off mute, and then we're going to wrap it all up. And we'll see you again next week. So go ahead and take it away if you have any questions. All right, as always, if you do have questions, you can also reach out to us too. We're more than happy to help you out. Send an email to sales@paycompass.com. That comes over to the solutioning team. We're going to be more than happy to help you out too. Want you guys to be successful. As we wrap up the month of March, as I mentioned previously, good gosh, we got a whole bunch of webinars coming up for the month of April. Tomorrow, Wednesday, noontime Eastern, I'm going to send out all the invites for the month of April so that you can put those on your calendar. Before we break, to all of you, I'm going to ask one big favor. Give some love to David Hicks from Factor4 for blocking out the time, joining us here today. David, appreciate the fact that you made the time to join us here today, sir.
Yeah, no, appreciate you having me. Thanks everyone for joining. And yeah, reach out if you have any questions. I'm just David at factor4gift.com, support at factor4 or factor4gift.com, sales at factor4gift.com. Reach out to any of those if you have any questions or need anything from us. We'll get back to you pretty quick.
David, thank you so much for that.